Hi, this is Walter as Disnerd, and I'm going to be giving you my review of Disney's Coronado Springs Resort from my latest stay, which was May 22nd through May 25th. I'm going to be telling you about just my stay in general. It was my first time staying there. So if this is not exactly how your review went, or how your time went, or how you thought of the resort, everyone stays there a little bit differently. If I stayed there 8 times or stayed there 5 times, then I might have then I might be able to tell you and have a similar experience to you in one of my cases. But this is at least my review from my first day at Coronado Springs Resort. So I stayed at Grand Destino Tower, which is the newest building slash tower at the resort. And according to some of the cast members, the resort is actually bigger than the Magic Kingdom. So that gives you a perspective of how large the resort is. And the best way to put it is staying at the Grand Destino Tower would get you as close to everything as you could, getting you close to all the bus stops. They do have a lot of bus stops throughout the resort, but getting you to the main bus stop. And then it also gets you to some of the restaurants, like Toledo, and then Dalio Lounge is there too, and the front desk and bell services is right in that inside of Grand Destino Tower. So that's a plus of staying at Grand Destino Tower. Another plus is that it has amenities that are similar to a deluxe resort, but with a price tag of a moderate resort. And the rooms are pretty big and pretty spacious and pretty nice. You can get different kinds of rooms at the Grand Destino Tower. And then if you don't get the Grand Destino Tower, I've heard reviews and I walked around and it seemed a really big resort. If you really don't like walking, or you have kids, or you are older, you may not want to stay at this resort unless you're going to be staying at Grand Destino Tower. But honestly, if you're okay with walking, which it shouldn't be a big deal if you can walk and you can do everything, it shouldn't be a big deal to have to walk to your room unless it's a super cold day or a super like 100-degree day. Then maybe it might be a little bit of a if you have to walk from the main lobby to your room, depending on where you stay. Some of the rooms can be super far, and some of the rooms actually can be fairly close to the lobby, not being in Grand Destino Tower. It just depends, and what you can always do is give a call. So you can call up the resort and call up Disney and the resort and tell them, oh, I want to stay in this place because it's close enough to the Grand Destino Tower, or I want to stay in this place because of this or that. So it's good there. And then also with this resort, there are amazing side pools and amazing everything that you don't have to be near all the craziness of people at the dig site pool. That one, if you do get it at certain times, it can be less crowded, but it's the main pool with the Mayan pyramid and stuff, so you might not want to necessarily go there unless you have kids that really want to go there and go on the slide and do all that. But if you're an adult and you kind of want to have a relaxing time, there are other pools around the resort in different areas that are a lot quieter and less kids. There still can be kids because it's going to be hard. You're at Disney, so you're going to have a lot of kids. But for the most part, it's going to be like 1 or 2 families in those pools, depending on when you go, if you don't go at peak times during the day. If you go when people would be at the parks and you're just having a resort day, or you just got to your resort and you just want to do that because you don't have anything to do during the day, then that would be good. Another thing with this resort, they just got Grand Destino Tower, they just got a new restaurant outside called Three Bridges Bar and Grill. And the reason why it's called Three Bridges is because there are three bridges that connect you to that restaurant. So there's one on one side, one on the, and there's three, one on each side of the, and it's good because even if you're far away from Grand Destino Tower, it doesn't matter because of the Three Bridges is in the middle of the water there. I would say the restaurant is really good. Their food is they have very good food. I would suggest getting the cheese for an appetizer, and then you can't go wrong with most of their food for entrees. And the staff is really good there at the Three Bridges. Their bar is pretty good too. The staff there is good as well. And what they do with this one, it doesn't have reservation, but they have walk up wait list. So you can get on the walk up wait list. Sometimes it could take like hours, and other times it could take like 10 minutes depending on how many people want to go there at that time and what time you're actually going to eat there. But it's only open for dinner. So if you get there early enough, you might be able to, like if you get there right when it opens or like a few minutes after it opens, you might be able to, let's say, get like 10-minute wait. But if you go there during peak dinner time or peak time, you're gonna have to wait a while. And if it's your day where you're not doing anything afterwards and you just want to have a relaxing time, you may wait like I did, because we had a walk up wait listed for, it was like 7 something, and we got it for like 8:30, so we had to wait a while. So we went to Dahlia Lounge in the Grand Destino Tower to wait and just to have some drinks before we went to our walk-up wait listed, not a reservation, but it's like a reservation in that you wait and then you get a seat, so it's a walk-up wait list. And then the Dahlia Lounge was pretty good. When I was there though, the Toledo Steakhouse was not open. The Toledo Steak place was not open, which is across the way from Dahlia Lounge. Hopefully in the next few months they will open that up and open up a lot of the other stuff. Another downside besides walking, which if you don't like to walk, then this resort might not be the thing for you unless you're gonna stay, like I said, in Grand Destino Tower. But for me, I would think, like, with the other restaurants at the hotel that are not the ones at the Grand Destino or the Three Bridges, they're okay. They're not the greatest things ever. I went to one of the sports bar and grill there, and for lunch on my last day on that Tuesday the 25th, and the food was just okay. I got a turkey sandwich thing, and they didn't put enough sauce on it, so the turkey was kind of dry, and they had okay wings. We got that as an appetizer, but all in all, I don't think that was the greatest restaurant to be at. And then their quick service place is kind of hit or miss. It depends on how much food they actually have there, because when I went the first day when I got there, we wanted to just have food and just be, because we didn't know, we had a reservation for later, and we were like hungry because our flight got us there at like 12 something, but then we got into our resort at like 2 or 3 or something. So we wanted to have a quick little bite to eat because we were hungry, but we had a reservation for 6:30 or 6:55 actually, and we wanted to make sure we weren't going to be like too hungry. And the food was okay. It wasn't anything to write home about. It was just because it was the quick service, and a lot of the quick service places aren't the greatest food because they're just quick service, as I said. They don't need to make it amazing food because it's just you grab and go. But it was edible. I would say it was edible. It wasn't like I said, it wasn't great food. Like, oh my gosh, this is the best quick service I've ever had. But it was just edible. It was edible, and it was something to get us to have food in our stomach, so we're not starving so we're not starving. And Also, one last thing about the resort. The one thing I will say is that the only way to get to the parks or get to Disney Springs is by bus. Sometimes the buses at those different parks or at Disney Springs takes a long time to get from takes a long time to get you to the resort because it's the only mode of transportation. It is one of the biggest resorts at with the most rooms. Pop Century is number 1 at Disney for the most rooms, and then Coronado Springs is second. But with that, you also have to worry about the amount of people that are waiting in the bus line, since the bus is the only way to get you from Disney Springs to the resort, or from resort to Disney Springs, or a resort to a park, or the park to a resort. So you're gonna have a lot of people waiting in the line with you. So it may take you it may take you 2 buses to get you. Like, you might have to wait, and then a bus will come and then put a whole bunch of people on, and then you have to wait again, depending on what the COVID restriction things are for the buses, and depending on how much room the buses have and how many people are waiting in line, because like I said, the bus is the only way to get you from the different places so you have to wait in that bus line. You don't have the Skyliner, you don't have the monorail, you don't have the boats, you don't have this, that, and the other thing. You can either take a bus or you can take a ride share and hope that someone's there to do the ride share for you. And yeah, that is my review of Coronado Springs Resort. I would give it a pretty good high rating. I would say it's one of the best, one of the good resorts. I'm not gonna sit there and say it's, oh my gosh, it's as amazing as a deluxe resort, but I will say it definitely gets a bad rap for not being as bad as it used to be when the new Grand Destino Tower wasn't there and the Three Bridges Bar and Grill wasn't there. And when they were constructing that, it was like a really, really bad resort because there was so much noise. But now that all of that is there, I would say the resort is a lot better than it used to be, and it's actually a pretty nice resort that everyone always criticizes because they haven't stayed at the resort as it is now. They've stayed at it prior to these buildings and these different places being open. So thank you, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video and comment on anything I might have missed about this resort, or anything you might like about the resort, or is it similar to another resort, or whatever review you might have on the resort, or anything you just want to say. Leave it down in the bottom, and I'll talk to you guys in another video.